Hey guys, it's Tanya, and I've been asked several times over the last, I guess, like month or two about my fitness routine. And so I thought I'd just go over it. Let me just first say, I'm not a trainer, I'm not an expert. This is just what I have developed that I've done from the start of my journey till now. So I don't want anybody to think that I think I'm an expert at anything. People keep asking what I do, and I'm just saying what I do. I'm not saying it's right or wrong. It's just what I do. Okay. Okay. I'll start back from the beginning. When I first had my VSG, 2 weeks after surgery, I got cleared to walk, and I started walking on the treadmill like 5 or 6 days a week, 30 minutes to like 45 minutes to an hour, maybe sometimes. And I started out slow. I went as fast as I could, which probably at that time was like 3.5, a 3.5 pace, maybe a little bit slower, maybe a little bit faster. I don't recall exactly. Um, and then as time went on, I just pushed myself to step up a little bit faster and a little bit faster, and got to where I am today. So keep in mind that I've been doing this for just over 2 years now. So, don't expect to come running out the gates where I'm at. And quite honestly, probably most people would pass me up on what I do with my fitness. But what I do works for me, so I'm sticking with it. So yeah, I stuck with the walk-in for like the first 4 or 5 months. Then we had changed gyms. I was supposed to start swimming because my rheumatologist for my arthritis, I don't have rheumatoid arthritis, I have psoriatic arthritis. But he wanted me to swim, and swimming is just really difficult for me because of like the whole time factor of getting wet and drying off and all that stuff. So I really don't swim hardly at all. But anyway, we had changed gyms, and at that time, I continued to do like 45 minutes of cardio, and then I started incorporating more strength training. And then what I find is I get into grooves where I get bored of doing the thing that I'm doing, and then I switch things up. So I walked and walked and walked probably for like the first, I don't know, 5 or 6 months. And then I started doing elliptical. Then I got to where I never got on the treadmill at all, and I only did elliptical, and I did strength training, which I'll talk about a little bit later. Then I went through a phase where I did body combat, which is like a cardio kickboxing type thing, until my rheumatologist told me I should not be doing that anymore, that I could seriously injure myself. But the point is that I just kept mixing things up. And I came back to walking with the treadmill again and just picking up my pace and then walking outside. And that's what I've been doing a lot of lately. So right now I am training for half marathon that I'm going to have on May 3rd, and then also another one December 7th. So right now I'm focused mainly on walking. I stepped back from doing my strength training because of the little bit of openings I kept having in my incision from my tummy tuck. So I haven't been doing that very much lately at all. But I will touch on what I do for strength training in this video. So what I want to say about walking. I basically, I guess you can call it speed walking. I walk somewhere between, usually my first mile is my slowest mile. It's usually about a 13-minute mile. And then I'll step it up and I go anywhere from like a 12.5 to a 12-minute mile walking, which I know everybody says is really fast. I don't know why I go that fast, other than I want to just get it over with as quickly as I possibly can. And I used to hate exercise, and I won't say I hate exercise now, but it's not my absolute favorite thing, quite honestly. I know I do it a lot, and you'd think it's one of my favorite things, but I like the way I feel when it's over, but I usually halfway through, I have to really talk myself into not stopping. So don't think that just because you exercise all the time for years, that you're going to grow to love it. I have a love-hate relationship with exercise. So anyway, I like the way my body looks and feels from the exercise, and that's why I keep doing it, and it works. So what I want to say about, if you want to pick up your pace with walking, what I find works for me is having a certain form. And I did do some research a while back on speed walking and picked up some tips there, because what I was doing in the beginning was trying to take long strides to get the most out of my stride, the most length out of my stride, and that's really not right. So what you're supposed to do is I always keep my abs sucked in when I walk, my shoulders back and down, and I always have my elbows bent. And part of the form with the holding the stomach in is pumping your arms. You want to pump forward and back when you walk. That does help propel you. It helps pick up your speed. You don't want to look like a cowboy, okay? No side to side. You want front to back, okay? Shoulders down, relaxed, abs pulled in. Always pumping. I have not worked on my arms hardly at all in the last few months. And I mean, I always get comments on how good my arms look. And I think part of it is that whenever I'm doing my cardio, I'm pumping my arms. And I've actually thought about putting my weights. I have wrist weights on my arms since I haven't been doing a lot of upper body work. But I get really sweaty, and I'm not a big fan of sweat. And I do sweat a lot when I work out or when I walk. So I haven't done that, but I am considering doing that. But the other thing is, okay, so you pulled in, you're pumping your arms. You want to take just natural steps. You don't want to take big, long strides, okay? You don't want to take big, long steps. You want to take steps that are natural, because when you take big, long strides, you can pull your hamstrings, you can pull different muscles in your legs, and you can injure yourself, and you don't want to do that. So just take natural steps and pick up your pace and pump your arms. I find if I don't pump my arms, I do not go fast enough. And also, if I just let my arms hang and swing like this, my fingers swell. So kind of the pumping thing started because I would just hold my hands up. Even on the treadmill, I hold my hands up. My hands get sweaty. Sometimes I fan them off. I walk like this, I walk like this to keep my fingers separated sometimes because my hands get so sweaty. So that's what I'll say about the form for walking. And that's if I'm walking on the ground. And that's how I'm trying to do all my long walks and for training for the half marathon, is to do all my long walks on the ground. So that way my body is used to the pounding on the pavement. The last time I did a 10K in a race, I was sore for a week after because I did all my training on the treadmill and my body wasn't prepared for walking on the ground. So I do some treadmill work and I do my long walks on the ground. When I do treadmill work, I cannot go as fast on the treadmill as I can on the ground, and that's kind of because I'm a little bit afraid of tripping on the treadmill and falling off. And I have talked to a girl at the gym who is actually a bodybuilder, but she's not like one of these big buff bodybuilder girls. She's very feminine and slender and lean and slim lines. And I asked her about her cardio and what she does, and what she told me to do for cardio with walking or treadmill work is to do intervals. And she kind of gave me some tips on it. So I'm not gonna tell you what she said to do because she's a bodybuilder and like she works out hours every day. But what I have incorporated into my treadmill routine is this. My baseline is 4.3 pace. That's if I'm just walking on flat, I'm doing a 4.3 pace. So I'll do 2 minutes at 4.3. And then I'll do 3 minutes at like 4.7, 4.8, somewhere around there. So my heart rate will get up and then for 3 minutes, and then I bring it back down to 4.3 for 2 minutes. Then the next 3 minutes, like after I come back and I do 2 more minutes at 4.3 to kind of get back to my baseline again, I'll do 3 minutes at a 10% incline at a 4.0 pace. So I'll bring the pace down a little bit, but I bring the incline up to 10%, and that gets my heart rate up. And when I was staying at a steady pace, I always tried to have my heart rate at around 150-ish. When I do the intervals, my heart rate will probably get down when I'm at the baseline in like the high 130s, maybe low 140s. And then when I do the incline or the fast walking, it might get up into like the 160s. That's mostly with the incline. But she said that helps your body burn fat more when you do the intervals. And I'll do that for however long the distance is that I'm going right now. Normally, before I was doing this half marathon training, I just went for distance, which would have been anywhere from like 3 to 4 miles. Now my miles are kind of all over the place. I'm following this 20-week program, and I'll put a link in the in the description below to the 20-week program. So it could be 3 miles, 5 miles, 6 miles. It just depends. So yeah, I might do that for over an hour on the treadmill, doing 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 2 minutes, 3 minutes. Yeah. So I don't really do intervals when I'm walking on the ground. When I'm walking on the ground, I'm just going for speed, trying to get up to 5.0 pace. Yeah. So I'm going to stop this video here, and then I'm probably going to show you a little bit of the strength training or like muscle work that I do. Okay. Okay, the other thing I've been asked about is what songs I listen to when I work out. And so I'm not going to run through the list that I work out to because I really think that's an individual thing. Everybody listens to their own music. You just need to find something that's going to keep you kind of distracted, especially with walking or I guess with running too, because it can get really monotonous. So you just need to find something that you really like. But the philosophy that I use when I'm making a playlist for working out is I want songs that are going to motivate me to look good. So my playlist consists of fast songs, slow songs, but they're all songs that make me think about sex. Because when I think about sex, I think I want to look good when I'm having sex. And so that means I need to work hard on my fitness so that I look good when I'm having sex. So, yeah. So my playlist is kind of awkward and it's got slow songs and fast songs. And it could be the person who's singing the song, like Adam Levine. Makes me think about sex. What can I say? So anyway, I just think it's an individual thing. But I posted on Facebook the other day, if you want to know a song, I found a song that actually goes pretty much, the beat of it goes with the pace that I walk when I'm at my fastest. And that's the Macklemore song, The Ceiling Can't Hold Us. That's pretty much, if you hear that fast pace, that's the pace that I pretty much walk when I'm at my fastest. So, yeah, but I'm not going to run through my playlist because, you might not like my music and I probably won't like anybody. Well, I like other people's music, but, it's just an individual thing. But that's my tip on how I make my workout playlist, okay? I start to do my strength training. I usually only do about 30 minutes of strength training. First thing I do is I stretch. So I spread my legs out as far as I possibly can. I picked this up in my cardio, kickboxing, body combat class. And just start out just stretching. My goal is to get my elbows to touch the ground, which sometimes I can and sometimes I can't. But stretch out like that. And then I'll walk it back and I try and get my elbows to touch the ground, okay? Then I'll walk over and I stretch. And I walk over and I stretch. And then I do the elbows to the ground again. Okay. Then I bring it in, just stretch out the inner thigh a bit. And then the other side, I usually hold it for a bit longer, but I'm not going to do that for the video. I'll stretch out the quads on both sides. Like I said, I usually do it for a lot longer, but I'm just running through it real quick for the video. Stretch out my shoulders, arms, triceps. Okay. And then the first thing I do is I do push-ups. And the way I do my push-ups is I do on my knees. So yes, I'm a girl, I do my knees. Across my ankles. I'll try and do 12 of these, but I kind of lost strength after having the tummy tuck, so I just do as many as I possibly can right now. But I'll go down, up, and then I cross. No, sugar. Come on. Okay. So, down, up, cross, up, down, up, cross, up. Okay, so I try and do 12 of those, and I think that's what helps with my shoulders being the way they are. I also do these sit-ups. Like first I do like 30 crunches like this, and then once I've done those crunches, I do this thing where you go down and you pull it up and down as far as you can without touching and pull it up, okay? I do about 10, 12 of those and then rest for a second, and then I go the opposite way. Out and lift up and out and lift up. Same thing, about 10 or 12 of those. I roll over, I do planks like this, and just hold it as long as you possibly can. Depending on how much I've been training, I can either do 30 seconds to 2 minutes. It just depends on how much I've been working on it. I do side planks and hold that for as long as I could possibly hold it. Both sides. Hold that as long as I can possibly hold it. And then I do stretch this is where I can feel the incision, so I haven't been doing that much. And then stretch back like that. So I do all those kind of stretches. So that's like the floor work that I do. Then when I'm at the gym, I do my machines. So for the machines, I do like the pull down, I do the chest press, I do the what do you call it, the oblique, the twisting one for your obliques. I do the legs, the inner thighs, the outer thighs. I do the tricep machine where you're doing it like this. Oh, and then after I walk, one of the big things I do, if I walk on the treadmill, not when I walk on the ground, but when I walk on the treadmill, I do the calf raises, the machine where like you stand on the machine and you have the weights on your shoulders and you're lifting up. I do about 50 pounds doing that because I find I get lots of leg cramps, calf cramps, and so I find that helps my calves get stretched out and not cramp up as much. Am I forgetting anything? Any other machines that I do? I think that's all machines I do.
Machines.
I do, 3 sets of 10s.
The leg opening machines.
I did that, the inner thighs and the outer thighs where you open and close, yeah. But I do 3 sets of 10 of everything that I do. So once I do all the floor work that I do and do the machines, it's about 35 minutes. So that's the strength training that I do. Like I said, I don't think it's anything elaborate, anything earth-shattering. I don't think I'm, marking new territory or anything, but people have been asking what I do, and that's what I do. So I hope this was helpful to somebody. If you have any questions, let me know, okay? Thanks. Bye.